I didn't tell them this, but after I walked out of there, I went down to the control room and I just started crying. And my husband was holding me. He's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "I can't believe we're actually doing this. Like, we're actually getting to do it." So I was bawling my eyes out in the control room. They're up there going, "Oh gosh, what are we gonna have to do now?" Like, there's so much emotion. That house is filled with emotion. It's filled with emotion.
Hi, I'm Kristen Maldonado from Pop Culture Planet. Jonathan, it's great to see you again. And guys, it's great to meet you. I gotta say, I'm obsessed with this show. It is
It's
so
great
much
to meet you too.
fun. Oh
These
my
are the
goodness.
hunks, Kristen. Kristen, these are the hunks. Hunks, this is Kristen.
Hello,
I-
Kristen.
Hunks, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. I think this is a genius idea. I'm waiting for Finding Miss Christmas. I'm like, how do I sign up for that? But I want to know, Jonathan, where did the concept for this come from? Like, how did you come up with this idea?
I created it with my friend Ben Roy and I. Thank you for the question. It's from me and my friend Ben Roy's brain. And we basically, so many actor friends of mine in the business come up to me all the time and are like, "Hey, bro, how do I get in those Hallmark movies?" Like, "Hey, man, can you give me the Hallmark movies? Like, how do I get to be one of the Hallmark guys?" And they're all, because like there's two people in the world, people that watch Hallmark movies and liars. So like everyone wants in on the pop culture zeitgeist that is Hallmark Channel. And so I started thinking with my friend Ben Roy, I was like, what if we made a competition show where we let the audience in on the process of selecting the new Hallmark holiday hunk? And that's how Finding Mr. Christmas was born.
For you, what did you kind of look for when it came to eventually crowning a Mr. Christmas? And for
Yeah.
all you guys, what was your sort of plan to sort of stand out amongst the
Oh,
other?
that's a
Uh,
great question. The things we're looking for are the things that the characteristics that all of our Hallmark stars have. All of our leading men have charisma. They have a sense of humor. They have a sense of wit. They have charm coming out of their ears. They're nice. They're kind. They're good people. They have a huge heart. And at the end of the day, they look amazing in Christmas sweaters. Like they have great teeth and perfect hair and look good in a Christmas sweater. So those are like the things we were looking for as like our baseline. But then all of these guys brought so much more than we could have ever hoped for. So what was your plan going into the competition? How were you gonna like beat out everyone else? Do you guys have a plan?
I'd say watching these movies growing up, we know the characteristics that we look up to and what have an impact on us. And aside from all the challenges that like we are faced with Jonathan Bennett and Melissa Peterman, whether you guys know it or not, you live and breathe all these examples for us. So in between the challenges and everything, they're setting such an example for us. So my goal going in was just listen, be open, and try to bring my own self, but also emulate what the greats are doing.
The greats. Thank you, Ezra.
It's true.
The show's over. You don't have to no brownie points. Okay, there.
When I first started this out, my plan was to win. You know, I'm a very, very competitive person. I hate losing more than I like winning. So my plan was to go in there and do whatever it took to win. And after meeting all of these guys, and as you get into these challenges, that plan quickly changed and kind of deteriorated as you realized you can't really have a plan going into these. Like Ezra was saying, you have to remain open and be vulnerable. But so it'll be fun for you to see how that plan goes.
Yeah, my plan going into it, as cliche as it sounds, was just to try to be myself. And I learned something from Jonathan early on in the competition. He said that you are going to be better at being you than anybody else. Okay. I didn't want to come in here and try to be him or be Tyler Hines. I wanted to try to be the best version of Blake and ultimately just see how far that could take me in the competition.
Yeah, and you did that. You all did a great job of it.
My background's within being a former Team USA athlete. And so for me, I have a big belief that athletes have all this on-camera ability and acting ability that can apply to this space. So really coming in here using over a decade of athletic experience of how to show up, how to perform under high pressure situations, and really applying it, I felt like it was going to give me a special touch. And one last thing is coachability, right? Listening to Jonathan, listening to Melissa, and being coachable, that's what was going to give me that competitive advantage.
I can't wait for the world to meet these boys. They're like, we all fell in love with everything about them because they're just such wonderful dudes that America is going to fall in love with each and every one of them. We can't wait.
I'd love to hear about like what some of your favorite challenges to compete in were on the show, because and also like, you know, there's the physical challenges, there's the acting challenges. Which one was harder?
Which one was harder, boys? The physical or the acting?
Acting.
Acting. Okay.
I think we all come from a competitive background in a sense, and we all are confident to a T. And something I wasn't expecting was watching some of the movies growing up. You don't realize the amount of vulnerability that's needed to portray a character, and that caught me by surprise. And just from our background being so much competition, there's not much room for vulnerability in all the sports and the military background I have. So that took me by surprise. And that was a huge challenge.
Having been in a lot of plays in high school, I was more nervous about the holiday challenges. As you know, they'd throw something at you, and then it would have a twist to it, and then now your brain is scrambled, and then all of a sudden they say ready, set, go, and you don't. Now I don't have a plan anymore, and so now my competitive edge is completely taken away because I'm completely scrambled in my head. So I would say both challenges were equally as hard, but for myself, it was definitely the holiday.
I would like to say, just from my past being playing college football, very taxing on your body. So everything was physical. And coming into this doing acting challenges, I was extremely surprised to see how taxing that was on your body and your mind as well. I think that goes to show you why Jonathan has such a great body,
Yeah. That's why I don't take my shirt off on the show, but they do. So,
He doesn't want to put us to shame.
what was harder, the physical or the acting for you?
I really second Blake on this.
Yeah.
It's that once you realize how much it takes to be an actor, physical is great and it's impressive and we love it. But to be an actor, you really have to tap into the physical, to the emotional, to the communication. And you have to do that sometimes with physical, but Blake explained it great.
Yeah, it's not like everyone thinks, oh, being in a Hallmark movie is so easy. It is not. It is not at all. And I think, watching them do the physical challenges, like there's a challenge where they cut down a Christmas tree and run it through an obstacle course. Like to watch these guys do it, like it was challenging, but at the same time, like if it was me and Melissa, we'd still be there trying to chop down the tree. Like one of our competitors, I'm not going to say which one, but one, like you look over and he's like halfway through the course. I'm like, how the hell did he get all that done already? And we're like, me and Melissa are like, well, that's why we are the judges. We judge, and the kids do what the kids do. Boom, go have fun.
I love that. That is so much fun. And Jonathan, I also wanted to ask, this year marks 15 years of Countdown to Christmas. So I was wondering if you have a favorite memory of your time at Hallmark, whether it's on this project or another holiday project.
I'll tell you this. My favorite, I've done 11 Hallmark movies. You're welcome.
Yeah.
11 Hallmark movies, and we're in our 15th year of Countdown to Christmas. And my favorite moment of my entire life at Hallmark was the day that I walked into the house of Finding Mr. Christmas for the first episode and said, hey guys, it was so magical because it was like I created the show and dreamed it up in my head and put 2.5 years of blood, sweat, and tears into making it happen. And then to be there, and it was so emotional for me, not just because we were shooting the show that we created, but because for the first time, I got to look out at 10 guys that all had the same dream that I had. They all have the same dream that I had growing up. They want to be a movie star. They want to be in Hallmark Christmas movies. And so to look out and see these 10 guys that had so much life and excitement and hope, it was like, oh my gosh, I'm actually doing something where I'm actually going to like help these guys grow and learn and like become better so they can be the movie stars that they want to be. And so it was so emotional for me to walk in that first interview. And I didn't even tell you this, guys, but I didn't tell them this, but after I walked out of there, I went down to the control room and I just started crying. And my husband was holding me. He's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I can't believe we're actually doing this. Like, we're actually getting to do it. So I was bawling my eyes out in the control room. They're up there going, oh gosh, what are we going to have to do now? Like, there's so much emotion. That house is filled with emotion. It's filled with emotion.
Oh, I love that. That is a great story. That is such an incredible thing to see you going from, acting on screen to creating this whole show and giving more people opportunities in this space. So I think that's incredible. I just want to thank you all so much for your time and congratulations. I can't wait to see the rest of the series.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's next? Let's keep going. I want to see a whole franchise.
We're on it.
Consider subscribing if you like this video and get even more entertainment news at popcultureplanet.net. See ya.